So Montclair Film is celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander with a handful of screenings throughout the month of May. Join with me today is Montclair Film co-head and artistic director, Tom Hall. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tom.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I just want to get into, what made you guys decide to have a screening for AAPI?
Yeah, so there's an organization in Montclair called AAPI Montclair that's a community-based organization that are looking to sort of elevate awareness among the AAPI community. And they reached out to us, and we've had a relationship with several of their members in the past. And they reached out to us about collaborating with us on a program of films that they felt would help with their mission and their goals. And we do a lot of that work as a nonprofit film organization. We partner with other nonprofit film or other nonprofit organizations who have ideas and goals and missions that they're working on. And we try to use film to help them tell their story and work with them. So they came to us with a very specific set of movies that they were interested in showing for the community. And we were happy to work with them and bring those films to Montclair for the month of May. So yeah, it's a fun and exciting program.
It definitely is. I love also the collaboration between just everything going on in Montclair. Like, I feel like Montclair as a town is so diverse and has so many things going on. I love that we all get to get together and work on something that's really amazing. Now, I know you mentioned the films, and it wouldn't be a screening without the films, obviously. So is it what's going to be filmed? Are there what's expected to be on screen, or what has been screened already?
Yeah, so we had two goals that we worked on together. The first was they really wanted to focus on AAPI representation for kids and families as sort of the main thrust of the program. So they were really interested in superhero movies or movies about young people and heroism with Asian American or Asian leads, and also hopefully in most cases Asian American directors behind the camera, so that we could have a conversation about how Asian American creatives represent in the field, because there's so much that I think goes into kids movies nowadays in terms of them being the box office dominant force, Marvel movies, things of that nature. So they wanted to for sure show Eternals, which was a film that the director Chloe Zhao had made a film called Nomadland, which won Best Picture last year. And this was her follow-up to that film. And we had showed Nomadland as our opening night film at the Montclair Film Festival in 2020. And it was important to us to sort of give Chloe support for her continued work. We always try to bring back films and directors who featured their work at the Montclair Film Festival. So that was an easy choice. Then, of course, Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings, was a movie. Destin Cretton, who's the director of that film as well, had a really wonderful film that I was able to program many years ago called Short Term 12, which launched the career of Brie Larson and Lakeith Stanfield, and John Gallagher was in that. It was Remy Malek was in that movie. It was an incredible breakthrough cast from that film. And so I really wanted to support Destin as well. And I think the films, both of those films are very different, even though they're superhero movies and they have different goals and objectives for an audience. So we were proud to do that. I recommended Kubo and the Two Strings because I think it's a beautiful fable that really speaks to younger kids, and it tells a sort of more historical based story, but it has that sort of hero vibe to it. It's like a hero's journey type of story for a young Japanese character who's a pup. They're done through stop motion animation, which I think is really beautiful. So I just think it's a gorgeous movie, has a incredible score. So I proposed that one, and they were on board for that. And then on the adult side, we've shown the work of Nanfu Wang, who lives in Montclair as a MacArthur grant winner, very strong nonfiction filmmaker. And we wanted to bring Nanfu back into the cinema for a screening of In the Same Breath, which is her film about sort of the onset of COVID in China. Again, I think it was 2020, we saw that film at Sundance and really wanted to bring it back. Of course, it didn't end up working out timing-wise for our film festival because it was already in theaters and on HBO before that. But we're bringing it back, and Nanfu's going to come and do a Q&A with Holly Kang from AAPI Montclair to talk about the film, and also I think how sort of community violence against Asian American people has become sort of standardized in the wake of COVID, in the way that it was represented as being sort of a blame-based pandemic, which of course is horrible and unfortunate, and something we definitely want to stand against and work with them to discuss. I think having a community conversation about that topic is very important as well. So we found like a way to do both of those things and keep the program sort of contained and something that people could digest and do, because there's a lot going on throughout the month for the AAPI festival. There was the Lantern Festival, I think, that's being rescheduled and things of that nature. So they just had a lot of activities going on, and we just wanted to make sure we were balancing ourselves as part of the overall plan for the month.
Yeah, I also love how there's something for everybody to enjoy, and I really love. Yeah,
that's definitely a goal when we program, right? So we want to try and find things that we feel reach a wide number of people. Not every movie's for every person. We want to find things that we think will reach as many people as possible and give everyone a chance to find something for themselves. So
exactly, and that is amazing. But I just wanted to say, please correct me if I'm wrong, but since this is the first AAPI screening for Montclair Film, amazing, that's awesome. Will there be an annual screening for the month of May in the future? Will this continue?
Yeah, I think so. We want to work with them again. I do want to mention, like, we've been showing work by Asian filmmakers for many years and constantly. So like I mentioned, Nanfu's had films in the film festival. We just opened the Claridge where constantly we had, Drive My Car. We've shown the films of Hong Feng-Soo. So we're exploring Asian filmmaking from Asia in a meaningful way constantly. And we hope people who are interested in that subject will come see things year round. So I don't want it to feel like it's just like a one-off thing. What made this special, I think, was the focus on families, and of course having Nanfu there with us for a Q&A. And we definitely want to do it again year after year. But I do want to say, there should be, we have a commitment to showing great work from around the world and, from Asian American filmmakers as well year round. So I'm hopeful that we can continue to see more representation in the industry, in the film industry in general, so that people get an opportunity to make films and that we can show them and continue to show them on a year-round basis at the film festival in October as well. We're always on the lookout for work. So I hope that it's part of a longer-term commitment, not just to May, but to sort of a 12-month, a year experience for people who are interested in seeing that work.
Especially, and not only just for AAPI, but can we also expect screenings for other months, and even for the 12 months, just like you said, such as Black directors for the month of February and even beyond, or even women directors for March and beyond?
Yeah, totally. We've done community driven Black History Month related screenings every year since I've been here for 8 years. So we've done that as free for the community. Come and check it out. We had a robust program in May of this year. We partnered with the library and with other organizations to show different work. We partner, women filmmakers are part of our overall commitment. Again, like I just don't want people to feel like it's 1 month and done. Like we want that work integrated in on a year-round basis. We have a really great film playing at the Claridge right now called Emergency. It's directed by a young African-American filmmaker. We, at the film festival itself again in October, we're always looking to have a really balanced program that speaks to the community. We're partnering with Montclair this month for LGBTQIA+ related films as well. So we've got a whole program running there. We're doing an outdoor screening of Rocky Horror for Pride. We have Priscilla, Queen of the Desert playing for Pride. So we've got a really strong commitment. We're partnering with the Trans Affirming Alliance as well. Again, talking about violence against a community and wanting to counterbalance that with thoughtful film programming, giving people a space to sort of process and have conversations around what's happening in the community. There's another example that I think is really important. So we'll continue to do that work across the community. And, we're always looking for partners. So if people have groups or organizations and they want to see work elevated or speaks to their mission, they can reach out to us at Montclair Film, and we'd love to have the conversation with them about how to get started and drawing that audience in an authentic way, meaningful way through what their work is.
Yeah, I especially do love that. Yes, like it is like a month thing as well, but I also love that you're saying that it's beyond that, like the all 12 months, like making that the norm. And I absolutely really do love that. And that leads really well into my next question of how do we keep progressing the importance of representation in media when, especially in the mainstream, the Oscars and all that, when representation is mostly cis white men.
Yeah, as a cis white man, one of the things we have to do, no, I'm serious, one of the things we absolutely have to do is give up uh, some space. And so one of the reasons why I think an example with the AAPI partnership that I like is, I'm not going to be there running the Q&A. I don't have to impose my sensibility on the program. AAPI Montclair came to us and said, we want to do these films. And we're putting our institutional knowledge and power behind putting those films on with them. And we're giving them the opportunity. These are women, Asian American women who were the leaders of the group who came to us. They're programming the films. They're running the Q&A. It's their space. We are there to support them and offer them the opportunity. So on the institutional side, I think continuing to leverage what our work and what we do on a daily basis toward the work of people in the community who want to be seen as represented on screen is important. So I support that with my work. And, it's not about me feeling like it's mine or anything like that. It is mine. Film is mine. I have a global perspective on film work, and that's important. On the other hand, the industry has to do a much better job too. We need to see more representation from directors, writers, producers, studio leads, people greenlighting work for the big screen. Streaming has, I think, been a boon to diversity. I think there's a lot more diverse work that's available on Netflix or HBO Max or that type of thing. But the actual film business, the entertainment industry for film in theaters, less so. People are trying to make very vanilla global statements, apolitical statements. Spider-Man is not a political movie. Spider-Man plays everywhere in the world, and it makes a ton of money, and things are getting more and more homogenized that way. And those perspectives are becoming more and more homogenous, and we need creatives to diversify the field as well. I can only show work that's been made. I'm not out here producing movies. I'm not we don't have the resources to be creating funds to give people to go make films, etc. We're in the exhibition and festival world. So at the same time as we need to be giving up space and partnering and putting our resources that we can behind people who have done that work and giving them a platform to share it and build an audience for it. The industry in parallel needs to do the same. And so we advocate for that as well with partners. And the most important thing people can do to support is to come out, put your ticket buying dollar where your values are, and come see a film and do a talk back and be engaged and support the work, because without support, no one's going to fund it. Unfortunately, we live in a very capitalist system that's going to have box office results and award shows driving the engine of what people talk about and care about. That's not how I function on a personal level with my relationship to film, but I know a lot of people do. And so until that changes, we have to support it. And so I'm hoping that people will continue to do that. And younger people in particular have a lot of control and power to do that. So I hope that they will get out there and re-engage with cinemas.
I hope so as well, especially as a college student. Like now is like the time to morph and change kind of the norm,
Yeah, please. I'm ready for you guys to do that. I'm here for you. Come to me.
Yes.
Let's do it together.
And I love that you guys are a resource for us to help change with that. And I know you're talking about support and all that. And speaking of support, are there any other special screenings or events that are coming up for the rest of the year? I know you've touched upon them briefly before. I don't mind getting a quick rundown.
No problem. So this Friday is our screening of In the Same Breath with Nanfu Wang, and then Kubo and the Two Strings is playing on Saturday, both at Cinema 505 in downtown Montclair, which is right across the street from the Claridge. We've taken over the Claridge movie theater and we're operating that on a daily basis. So we have 365 days a year. We're showing 6 to 10 films at all times. Give a look at claridge.org if there's something that catches your fancy. We've got Everything Everywhere All at Once playing right now. We've got Emergency playing right now. We're opening Top Gun tomorrow because I have to. But we're excited for like the slate of the summer. I know people are looking for entertainment options. We hope people continue to do that. Out Montclair program, we have a free outdoor screening of Rocky Horror next Friday, June 3rd. Taking place that's at Lackawanna Plaza. We have a live cast who's going to be performing the film with the movie at the same time. So it's going to be that's a lot of fun. We do that every month at the Claridge. Out Montclair still has a robust program. We're showing Watermelon Woman by Cheryl Denier, and we have an incredible lineup of films running through the end of the month, through until Pride on June 11th. We're partnering with Pride. Our building will be open during the festival, and then the film festival itself takes place October 21 through the 30th. We'll have, again, like 150 filmmakers coming in from all over the country to share their work, Q&As, parties. We'll be at the Wellmont, we'll be at the MKA Auditorium, the Claridge, all over town, showing movies for those 10 days, getting people ready for what's next coming down the pike on the film side. So there's a lot to do. And we hope that people feel like it's theirs. This belongs to the community. We're a nonprofit. We belong to the community, and we want to see people support it. We're open. This is not a closed door. We're very much open to hearing from people about what they're interested in. So,
no gatekeeping here.
I do a little bit of gatekeeping. Can't be the only gatekeeping I have is not something that's not propaganda or self-serving or But yes, absolutely, we'd love to work with people to elevate what they're working on. So.
Exactly. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on again to talk about this. This has been a really fun interview to do. And with that being said, back to you guys in the studio.